We are taught from childhood that putting money into a savings account is the ultimate responsible choice. You work hard, you set aside a portion of your income, and you let it sit safely in a vault. But what if the very act of saving is actually the most dangerous financial decision you can make? Robert Kiyosaki famously claims that savers are losers, and most people assume he just means inflation will slowly eat away at your purchasing power. That is only a fraction of the truth. The reality is far more deliberate and mathematically ruthless. When you put money in a bank, you are not stepping out of the financial game to stay safe. You are actually taking a massive, unhedged bet on a currency that is designed to fail. In the next few minutes, we are going to explore how the entire banking system relies on savers to act as unwitting liquidity providers for the wealthy. We will uncover how the rich actively short the currency and why your savings account is funding their wealth creation. Chapter 1. The Invisible Bet on Fiat. To understand why saving is so risky, we have to look at cash not as a neutral measuring stick, but as a financial product. When you hold stocks, you are betting on a company. When you hold real estate, you are betting on property values. When you hold cash in a savings account, you are effectively taking a long position on fiat currency. You are betting that the piece of paper in your pocket will buy the same amount of groceries, housing, and energy 5 years from now as it does today. Historically speaking, taking a long position on any unbacked government currency has a perfect failure rate. Governments always print more money to fund their obligations, which dilutes the supply. Imagine if you owned shares in a company that issued new stock every single day, diluting your ownership stake constantly. You would sell that stock immediately. Yet, we happily hold cash, unaware that our purchasing power is being actively diluted around the clock. The wealthy understand this invisible bet, which brings us to a fundamental shift that changed the world 50 years ago. Chapter 2. The Day the Rules Changed. Everything shifted drastically in the summer of 1971. President Richard Nixon severed the link between the US dollar and gold, turning the dollar into a purely fiat currency, backed only by the promise of the government. Before this moment, money was a relatively stable store of value because it was tethered to a physical commodity that could not be printed out of thin air. After 1971, money transformed into something completely different. It became an instrument of debt. The global economy shifted from a system backed by physical assets to a system based entirely on debt. In this new paradigm, currency is created whenever a bank issues a loan. This means the supply of money must constantly expand to pay off the interest on previous debt. If you are trying to save this constantly expanding currency, you are playing by old rules in a new world. You are using an outdated map to navigate a brand new terrain. To see exactly who benefits from this new map, we need to look at an older economic principle. Chapter 4. The Cantillon Effect. There's a concept in economics called the Cantillon Effect, named after an economist who noticed something peculiar about how new money enters an economy. When new currency is created, it doesn't instantly distribute itself evenly across the population. It flows outward from the source like a ripple in a pond. The institutions and individuals closest to the money printer, primarily large banks and massive corporations, get their hands on this new money first. They get to spend it before prices have adjusted upward to reflect the newly expanded money supply. By the time that money trickles down to everyday workers in the form of slight wage increases, the prices of housing, food, and energy have already skyrocketed. The people at the end of the ripple effect, which includes anyone relying on a fixed salary or a traditional savings account, effectively pay the hidden tax of inflation. Their purchasing power is transferred silently from the savers at the bottom to the borrowers at the top. This silent transfer of wealth sets the stage for the most powerful financial move the wealthy make. Chapter 5. The Ultimate Short Sale. In the stock market, shorting means you borrow an asset, sell it, and hope the price drops so you can buy it back cheaper and pocket the difference. The wealthy apply this exact same logic to fiat currency. When someone like Robert Kiyosaki takes out a massive loan to buy an apartment building, he's essentially shorting the US dollar. He borrows millions of dollars today, locks in the purchase of a tangible asset that produces cash flow, and agrees to pay the bank back over several decades. Because governments are mathematically forced to print more money, the value of each dollar drops every single year. The wealthy investor gets to pay back yesterday's debt with tomorrow's increasingly worthless dollars. The asset goes up in nominal value, the tenant's rent covers the mortgage, and the actual burden of the debt shrinks away to nothing thanks to inflation. Borrowing money to buy assets that produce income is a literal short position against a failing currency. But the benefits of this strategy go far beyond just beating inflation. Chapter 6. Wealth creation without taxes. The frustrating reality of the traditional financial path is the tax code. If you work a regular job and try to save your money, you are taxed when you earn your paycheck. If you manage to put some of those remaining dollars into a savings account, the government comes back to tax the tiny amount of interest you earned. The system actively penalizes the saver at every possible opportunity. On the flip side, the tax code heavily incentivizes the borrower. Debt is considered not income, which means borrowed money is completely free of taxes. When an investor refinances a property and pulls out $1 million in equity, they don't pay a single cent of income tax on that money. Furthermore, the interest paid on loans used for business or real estate is completely deductible from your taxes. The rules are written in plain sight to reward those who use debt to stimulate the economy by providing housing or jobs. The wealthy are simply reading the rulebook and following the incentives, while the average person is left wondering why saving feels like running on a treadmill. Chapter 6. The unwitting liquidity providers. This entire system requires capital to function, and this is where the dark truth about savings accounts finally comes into focus. When you deposit your money into a bank, the bank doesn't put it in a little box with your name on it. The bank turns around and lends your money out to the exact investors we have been talking about. Your savings account is the fuel that allows the wealthy to short the currency. The bank pays you a fraction of a percent in interest, charges the investor a higher rate, and pockets the spread. You are taking all the inflation risk by holding the fiat currency, while the investor uses your money to buy tangible assets that protect them from that exact same inflation. Savers are the unconsenting liquidity providers for the greatest wealth transfer mechanism in modern history. Without the deposits of millions of hardworking people trying to do the responsible thing, the banks wouldn't have the capital to lend to the wealthy. Understanding this dynamic is the key to stepping off the treadmill and changing your financial trajectory. Chapter 7. How to play the real game. You don't need to be a billionaire or take on reckless amounts of debt to apply this knowledge. The first step is simply a mental shift. You must stop viewing cash as a permanent storage facility for your life energy. Cash is a temporary transactional tool. It's meant to move, not to sit still. The goal is to accumulate enough cash to trade it for tangible assets that hold their value over time. This could mean investing in index funds, purchasing real estate, or building a small business. Anything that produces value and cannot be printed out of thin air is a better store of wealth than paper money. Education is the most important asset you can acquire because it protects you from blindly following outdated advice. Once you realize that the rules of money completely changed decades ago, you can stop playing a game you are mathematically guaranteed to lose. Protect your purchasing power, study the incentives of the tax code, and start converting your melting ice cube of cash into assets that will truly serve you.